Nicknamed the world's greatest dirt track, it seems only fitting that we find ourselves here in northwestern Ohio at the famed Eldora Speedway for round one of the Bootleg Racing League's Dirt Street Stock Series, and you're going to get to see all of the action unfold live here all season long on the Global SimRacing Channel. Hi everyone, I'm Samuel Ryman, and alongside me in the booth is Devon Henry. Making all the magic happen behind the scenes is our director Sean Ambrose, using camera sets provided by Dougie Beard. Well, speaking of magic, Eldora's nickname as the world's greatest dirt track is by no means unjustified. Let's take a closer look at what makes this track truly special with our GSRC track guide.
Welcome to the world's greatest dirt track, Eldora Speedway. Located in Rossburg, Ohio, northwest of Dayton, Eldora opened in 1954 and has been one of the premier dirt tracks in the country ever since. The half-mile clay oval, now owned by Hall of Fame driver Tony Stewart, is the perfect track to learn the ropes in any dirt car. It's versatile in its ability to host great racing across the board, including the winged and non-winged sprint cars, modifieds, and all three late models. And Eldora features fast and sweeping corners, a slight bend down the back straight, mainly attributed to a rounded-off corner exit in turn 2. Now, like any good dirt track, the best drivers can adapt their style to many different lines depending on the track's condition at Eldora. Get a good run on the cushion, you'll be flying around the outside of the track. Be careful, don't jump the cushion in turn 1. That wall is unforgiving. Around the bottom of the track, turns 3 and 4 can be the more daunting corners, especially as the berm works its way down to the concrete wall. So who will join the likes of Stewart, Steve Kinzer, Donnie Schatz, and Scott Bloomquist, the other legends of dirt racing who have claimed victory here at Eldora? Let's find out. Enjoy the show.
A great track and truly a great series getting ready to race here. The success of a well-established Bootleg Racing League has attracted a couple of sponsors, and we would like to give those guys a shout out. First off is the Cruise Shop. The Cruise Shop has been in operation since 1986. They are a team of highly experienced travel agents that have a huge passion for travel. They specialize in cruises, all-inclusive resorts, escorted tours, Disney and family travel, groups, honeymoons and weddings. They would love the opportunity to help you plan your next vacation. Give them a call today. You can do that at 260-755-6125, or you can visit them at thecruiseshopfw.com. The Cruise Shop is dedicated to fulfilling their clients' dreams, one destination at a time. Also for this season, we have a new sponsor, Jim Beaver Esports, and tonight's heat races are brought to you by Jim Beaver Esports, the official esports team of Jim Beaver and the General Tire Down and Dirty Show, powered by the Polaris Razor. Follow the team at jimbeaveresports.com. You can follow them on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram to keep up with their drivers in iRacing World Championships, private leagues and more. A lot of big names in dirt racing have taken the checkered flag at Eldora's historic track here. So what exactly are these drivers up against tonight as they aim to add their names to that list, Devon?
Well, man, I tell you what, I love taking a trip to the virtual Rossburg, Ohio. This Eldora Speedway, the half mile, feels like a super speedway if you're talking about what we're doing here on dirt. Built back in 1954, the corners here are banked at 24 degrees. The straightaways at about 8 degrees themselves. And this makes for high action, high pace, high speed, and occasionally high contact racing as well. You're going to see these guys want to run up right up on that wall. Some leagues do allow wall riding for this track in these tank-like street stocks. You won't see that here tonight, though. They're going to have to try to keep it clean. And the last time this series raced at Eldora, we had a miraculous 4-wide finish. And oh yeah, it happened to top iRacing's top 10 that month. Might we see some excitement tonight like we saw last season?
Well, we certainly hope so, and honestly, there's no reason to expect we won't, because practice is finishing up here, and the top 4 fastest times are within a tenth of a second. Now, let's give our viewers a bit more of an idea of what exactly we're going to see here tonight, Devon, with our race details.
Yes, this is a very fun league. We'll get to that in a minute here, but this is season number 4 of existence for this series, and this is the start of a new season, so it's round 1 of 11 here in the Dirt Street Stock Series. We do have a heat race format. It'll be no more than 6 cars per heat race. The top 3 in those heat races will move on to the A feature tonight. Everyone will be making our feature. It is a fixed setup race, and they only get 1 fast repair. Also, after qualifying, there is an invert. We'll talk a little bit more about that once we get to our heat races. But for now, it's time for the drivers to make those qualifying laps.
Yeah, the drivers are all out there on circuit. Currently, we have a field of about 15 drivers getting ready to race tonight. So as you mentioned, they'll all make the feature. Well, this is the start of a brand new season. So, of course, everyone is on a level playing field as far as the points championship is concerned. But as they click off their lap times, let's give you an idea of who the big names are to watch out for. We'll bring up the championship standings from the previous season, let you know how it all went down. Because right now, Bobby Rafferty is sitting the fastest in qualifying, but there you go. Tyler Jackson, the driver to beat a massive points lead by the end of last season there, Devon.
Yep, Tyler Jackson is your 2-time defending champion. Steven Spees and Justin Morin also in the field tonight. And also the guy at the top of the board, the Jim Beaver Esports driver of Bobby Rafferty, the winner last time we came here to Eldora. He won twice in this series last season.
All right, so that's all the business out the way. Let's tell you what we're up against. For those of you who are familiar with dirt racing and heat racing, there shouldn't be anything new to you, but what's going on right here is a 5-minute long qualifying session. Each driver has the track to him or herself for 4 laps. Justin Morton clocking in the fastest time right now. Now, the heat races will have inverted starts, so the heats will be put together like normal, but then they flip the field around. So basically, the slowest driver in qualifying gets to start on pole position for their heat race. Well, of course, that begs the question, why not just qualify really poorly so that you start at the front of your heat race? Well, first off, qualifying position doesn't mean a whole lot when there's only 6 cars on track for these heat races. But the other thing, Devon, is if you do qualify well, you might pick up a few extra points.
Yes, we are in dirt racing points, so you are awarded points in qualifying your heat race, even the Consolation, then of course the big points come in the A main. But I mean, you essentially get bonus points for qualifying well in the qualifying and then for also winning the heat race. Well, we have seen plenty of these fast drivers, like here you see Justin Morin, who's at the top of the board right now, go out, start last in a heat race, pass the 4 cars in front of him, and get maximum points up through to the A main. So, yeah, you can sandbag your race, but, I mean, what's the benefit of starting in front of 4 cars as opposed to getting those points and trying to race your way up in a heat race?
Well, the drivers are finishing up qualifying right now. Here we go. Jared Melton has yet to put a time on the board. As we mentioned, they have 4 opportunities to try and put in a lap time. And Melton goes 5th fastest so far. And once again, I mentioned it briefly earlier, but look how close the qualifying times are. I guess that's to be expected when a lap time is only 20 seconds around, that the lap times would be close, but it still is impressive to see 6 cars right now within a tenth of a second.
Yeah, and right now where you want to be is on that inside lane, because right now that has the most moisture in it, and it's the shortest way around, which means it has the most grip. Tyler Jackson now to the top of the board, to no surprise of anyone. Typically one of the fastest guys here. He likes to wait until the end, and he's got that blood red paint scheme. He smells blood in the water from what we were talking about, the championship last week, actually an homage to his father's car when he won back-to-back championships. And now Tyler Jackson back out here, back on the top of the board. And now we look here at Rod Melton, currently 6 overall on the board. Only 2 drivers have yet to make a lap, but it looks like they might not be able to get those in.
Yeah, we're into the dying seconds of qualifying here. So there you see our 14 drivers who have shown up tonight, and 12 of them have turned times. Tyler Jackson, the fastest qualifier, ahead of Justin Morton. Stephen Spies in 3rd place, ahead of Bobby Rafferty. J.R. Shepherd and Jared Melton, the top 6 fastest qualifiers. So I believe they all score points. But enough about that. It's heat racing time. And we're getting ready for the first heat race.
So here's how this works, guys. So for heat race number 1, you kind of take, your first time qualifier, and then you go down from there, kind of splitting them all up so that each heat race has an even amount of speed, if you will. But in this case, Tyler Jackson, who ran the fastest lap, will have to start off here in last.
And because there are 14 drivers who have shown up, they're splitting them into 3 heat races. 5 drivers in races 1 and 2, 4 drivers in the 3rd heat race. And of course, the top 3 from each heat race will go directly to the feature and start from the top 9 positions based on wherever they finish. The drivers we have for this first heat race are Willie Whittaker on pole, ahead of Todd Liston. Robbie Robinson starts 3rd place, ahead of Bobby Rafferty, and Tyler Jackson rounds out the top 5 for race 1.
And watch out for that back of the field. Bobby Rafferty and Tyler Jackson are 2 bad, fast boys. So they're going to be trying to rip through this field that right now, with this track state, how moist and how grippy it is, they can use just about any line on this track and be able to make it work, but you still kind of want to be on the inside on corner exit.
So Willie Whittaker will be starting on the low line in that white number 37 machine up high. Todd Liston in the blue and greyish car, and black and red car for Robbie Robinson from 3rd place. Lighter blue and white car is Bobby Rafferty in 4th position, and then the so recognisable Shark car, the number 8 car of our defending champion Tyler Jackson, starts from the back. Can he get up front within 10 laps? I'd put money on it, but let's find out. The pace truck is off. Willie Whittaker has control of the field. The green flag is out. Here we go.
Good jump for Whittaker there.
Yeah, a bit of a bump between Liston and Rafferty up high on the very start, and Whittaker able to hold it down low, though, and hold on to the lead. So they're about 3 wide for 2nd place already as Whittaker leads them around to complete lap 1.
And this track is so wide, so fast. You will see these guys very easily go 4 wide. You can go 5 wide here and not run into the guy on top of you. It's that easy here, as now Tyler Jackson looking to the inside, 3 wide for 1st place here.
And here comes the number 77. Oh, I thought Bobby Rafferty would have it there. He might be able to get it done this turn using the middle lane, whereas Willie Whittaker already up high, wide and handsome, and gonna hold on to the top position. Oh, but he's gone over the cushion. He's into the wall, and that is gonna give a lead to Bobby Rafferty, or will it? No, he's not quite there.
The leaders continue to bump and bang Tyler Jackson in that final transfer position. Watch out on the inside. Jackson's going to get a great run here off the inside. They're going to be 3 wide here going into turn number 3. Rafferty almost chops the nose of the 8. We got some fierce battling here for the top spot in heat race number 1.
Yeah, well, Rafferty and Whittaker were making contact up high, and I think Whittaker's every time he hits the wall again, but he's making it work still. He's still able to hold his own in that battle for the lead.
Yeah, some people like to wall right here at Eldora. I won't say it doesn't scrub off speed, but man, you can still be fast up on that wall. The 8 car, Tyler Jackson on the inside. A great view here, not the wheel that Whittaker really wants to have. He'd rather only see dirt in front of him as Jackson slides up, hits the nose of Rafferty, into the wall he goes.
Yeah, that was very close to spelling disaster for Jackson. If Rafferty had held it wide open, he probably could have turned that 8-car around, and that would have caused a huge mess. But there we go. Tyler Jackson has gone from 5th to 1st with 4 laps left to go, but it's not over yet.
Look at how tight all 5 drivers still are. Anyone can transfer into this race. Regardless of everyone making the main, there will be a consolation race. Regardless, so those back 2 guys, you still want to be guaranteed a top 9 spot. If you are not in the top 3, you go to the consolation, and you can be anywhere from 10th all the way to last.
And for those of you who have never done sim racing or dirt racing in sim racing or race with a force feedback steering wheel, it gets to you. You don't want to do any more laps than you have to. But here we go. Checkered flag is out. Tyler Jackson takes a win. And second place is Bobby Rafferty. And then third position at the line, making the main, is Todd Liston.
Boy, that was really unfortunate there at the very end for Willie Whittaker. Gone to the wall, went from the final transfer spot to the final spot on the track. That's just how tight those guys were racing all 8 laps.
Yeah, so these heat races are just 8 laps on. I think I might have mistakenly at some point said they were 10 laps long. Our pole sitter for race 2 hasn't shown up, and that is John Wilson. I think he has been having connection issues. He's been in and out a few times. So, yeah, John Wilson is currently not in the server. Hopefully he'll get back in time to make the consi.
Yeah, some issues there. Yeah, you say he's kind of bouncing in and out of the session here. What they have done in the past, though, is that there'll be an empty slot there on the start. All drivers go on green, so if you're on the pole, it doesn't matter. But so what they've done before is wherever that slot is that someone is not, for instance, the 93 will still have to line up row 2. We will see exactly how the admins want to go ahead and do this up in race control.
So now the new grid is Ron Snyder in the 29 up high for the start. Down low is Spencer Gray in the 93, as you mentioned. Behind them on the second row, we have JR Shepherd in the 98 on the high side. And the number 9 down low, that is Justin Morton.
And last week was a good week for JR Shepherd, winning his 40th through 43rd BRL championships that weekend.
Oh, a lot of success there. Let's see if he can get more success tonight. The truck is off. Here we go. And it's a great start by all of them. They're all side by side still, heading on into the first corner.
Watch Justin Moore here. He's going to get a great blast from this inside lane. They're going to be 3 wide going into turn 3. That 9 car scrubbed a little bit of speed there on exit, but right now Ron Snyder way on the outside, flirting with that wall. He wants to keep this thing going, but the 93 is Spencer Gray doing a great job in the middle of the track. There's moisture everywhere right now, so everywhere on this 24-degree bank track is fast.
Oh, Snyder hard into the wall on the outside, bounces off it a couple of times, but is able to retain the top position. They're going about 80 miles an hour when they come off a turn, so I'm sure they can't be comfortable, but here we go. He keeps off the wall that time, and they're still 3 wide as they start lap 3.
Justin Moore staying true to that inside lane. He is getting a little bit of a grip, but still that lane is going to start slicking off. Here starts getting less grip, and you got to kind of move up the track. But right now, running right on that inside wall. It's 3 wide per second now as Ron Snyder has a little bit of a jump on the field here.
Snyder doing a great job. He started in 2nd place, and he's been able to hold that high side and hold the lead throughout the first half of this heat race here. Remember that these pay points, so there's a pretty nice little bonus if he can hold on to win this then.
And also remember the top 3 advance, and right now there's a 3-way battle for second. I can't even imagine if they came across the line this time for that final transfer, what the gap would be between 3rd and 4th as JR Shepherd is gunning for the lead here into turn 3.
Oh, and almost a little bit of contact on the exit there, but I think they've all made contact at some point this race. JR Shepherd, yeah, as you mentioned, he's making that line work for him all. Still a bit sideways coming off of a turn. I thought that would cost him some time, but he proves me wrong, and it looks like he may have a track all to himself on the exit here. There we go, new leader, JR Shepherd.
Shepherd still running that outside lane. Justin Moore on the inside, though, still trying to find a little bit of time as he has moved up the track. He's in the lane that JR Shepherd took the lead in, so now trying to take away P2 from Ron Snyder in the 29.
final lap, and things have spread out a little bit more in this race than they did in the first heat. And I think Spencer Gray is hoping that something dramatic happens on the final lap here. J.R. Shepherd obviously hoping not. He's got this lead pretty well tied down, but the battle for second is definitely hot and heavy as they go off into the final turn. Number 9 has it. No! Yes, he got it. Justin Morton just to get Ron Snyder to the finish line by 13 thousandths of a second.
That was a little too close there. He let that rear end wash out, and he about looped that thing coming off of 4, but J.R. Shepherd taking the heat race win there. Man, mighty impressive. Usually the asphalt guy got his first ever feature victory in this series last season. And then, of course, we already talked about the championships on the asphalt, but still doing impressive stuff here on the dirt here to start off season number 4.
All right, just 4 drivers for this final heat race of the night. Brody Green on pole. Joe Segala, Segala starting second, ahead of Segala starting second, thank you, Director, ahead of Jared Melton and Stephen Spies on row number 2.
Another 4-car field. Steven Spies in the back, the fastest qualifier out of these 4 cars. Remember, guys, 3 cars transfer to the A. 1 car is not guaranteed that top 10 starting spot. They will have to go to the Consolation race, where they're gonna have to decide where they're gonna end up being, anywhere between 10th and I believe 15th here.
Yeah, unfortunately, we still haven't seen John Wilson reconnect yet, so it might just be 13 cars making the A main, but we still got the Consi coming up in just a few moments. The Consi race will be a 12-lap race, as opposed to these heat races, which are 8 laps. Let's see which 3 drivers are going to the A main. Brody Green has control of the field as the pace truck comes in. Green flag is out. Here we go.
Great jump for Joe Segala on the outside. Brody Green, I don't know if he might have been in 3rd gear there, but already Steven Spies looking to the inside from worst to first. Off of turn number 2, the 55 is at the head of the field.
Yeah, Brody Green just did not get going, as you say, and Jared Melton also got held up because he started right behind him on that inside lane, but Jared Melton may have a last laugh there because he easily gets by Brody Green for 4th, and Brody Green already feeling a little bit lonely back there.
Yeah, this top 3 trying to run away, guarantee themselves a spot in this A feature. Right now, Segala trying to catch back up to Steven Spies. I'm a little surprised Spies isn't lower on the track. That's how he got the leader. Right now, Lane Segala have that more center lane as Spies has moved up the track. But I can't say much when that top right corner graphic flashes and says that the 55 just ran the fastest lap of this race.
Oh, and into the wall goes Jared Melton. Not that that should affect him too much. He's got a pretty comfortable lead in 3rd. But he is trying to run down the 2 cars ahead of him, so that might impede his progress a little bit. But now with all the cars starting to run up high like this, Devon, and as I say that, Spies goes down low, I was starting to wonder if passing would get a little bit more difficult as this track get laps on it.
Well, the one thing about this track is normally at a dirt track, that's exactly what happens is parts of the track start to wear off because of rubber. It's like the opposite of any asphalt track. The more rubber you get, the more grip. Well, on dirt, the more rubber you get, the less grip. And you can see how these guys are utilizing a bunch of different lines. But the difference here at Eldora is that this place is just so dang wide. If you wanted to make a pass, if you really, really wanted to make that pass, you could slide job and make it happen. I don't know how clean you can make it happen, but you can still make it happen here at just about any time as long as you got to run on someone, which isn't all that hard. This outside lane, it has so much momentum that they go about 90, 95 miles an hour into the next corner when you get that slingshot off the top here.
And all of the other drivers who don't compete in the other heat races and don't compete in this one are welcome in iRacing to spectate this race. And I think right now they're appreciating the fact, as we start the final lap, that these drivers are racing single file and trying different lines. If I was one of those drivers, I would be studying all these lines right now and the lap times the drivers are running, trying to work out what I need to be doing in the consi or in the feature. But here we go. Stephen Spies is going to win, go to the A main, as is Joe Segala and Jared Melton.
So that's probably the most separated that we've seen any cars, whether it be qualifying or practices, as well as those guys kind of spread out a little bit. But now it's time for our 5-car consolation race. The track state continues to carry on over. So however that race finished is how this race is going to begin. Not a lot of cars here entered tonight. Of course, we have 24 hours of Le Mans going on right now. So there's guys like Kenny Kibbe, the inaugural champion. He's in the Firecracker 400 prelim race tonight. And then he'll take that jet ride over to Le Mans. So a little bit low on numbers tonight. So you're not going to see the track evolve as much as you would regularly. But still, it's important to know exactly how you want that car to feel once we do get to that A feature.
Still no sign of John Wilson, unfortunately. Now, the good news is all 4 of these drivers and Wilson himself, if he shows up, will be able to make the A main. The bad news is they'll be at the back of the field. I believe it was Willie Whittaker was the driver who was on the inside. Things were looking good for him until the final turn in his heat race. I'm sure he wants to get a little bit of redemption here.
Yeah, everything went from bad to worse for Whittaker there. So what? He was 3rd place. What was that? Heat race number 2. So he was guaranteed to start 8th at that point. Now he starts dead last year in the Consolation due to qualifying time. Now there's a chance that he has to start 13th. So that's essentially a 5-spot drop here, potentially for losing those 2 spots in the final corner of his heat race.
All right, here we go, getting ready for the final race of the night for the main race. And the pace truck about to make a hard left turn into the pits. Robbie Robinson has control of the field down low. Here we go. And gets a nice start by the front row. Once again, a bit of a sluggish start from Brody Green. And Whittaker already trying to find his way through the drivers on the front row. He's going to try and go down low.
3 wide coming into turn number 3. Spencer Gray on the outside. Robbie Robinson stuck in the middle and now is behind. Willie Whittaker crosses him over there. We got contact on the front straightaway. Robinson almost saved it. I don't know if we're going to get a caution for that. A 1-car been out there in a 4-car race that lasts 12 laps. We're going to keep on going green here and try to settle out these last 3 spots.
There was a lot of bouncing coming off of the 4th corner there. I don't know if we can pull up a replay of it, because things look like they've calmed down for the second half of this Consi race. But it's really spread out the field. With Spencer Gray leading, Willie Whittaker in 2nd, Brody Green in 3rd place, and Robbie Robinson has got going again in 4th. Now we stay green. Robbie Robinson is that black and red number 56 car. We go back to the start here, but the crash happens just a couple of moments later, and we'll get a better idea of exactly what happened here.
Well, first of all, it was a great move. So he kind of gets stuck behind Whittaker here, puts that car back down. Oh my gosh, that was a great crossover to go 3 wide, and just a terrible domino effect there because Spencer Gray gets loose off the corner, and it's just a couple bang, bang, bangs, and just could not save that thing from looping around. Great move, though. I wish he could have completed that. That would have been fun.
Yes, and not only was he the one trying to make a great move down there, down low, but he was the innocent victim, really, of that wreck. It was the 2 cars who collided up on the high side that kind of triggered it all. And guess what? Those 2 cars are coming back together because Willie Whittaker has ran Spencer Gray down. He's been running a couple of tenths faster than him a lap. But now he's caught him. How's he going to get by him?
Back-to-back fastest laps of the race for Whittaker, pushing the cushion. Now looks to the inside here on Spencer Gray. Can't find anything, though. There's plenty of room, though, on this track to try to make a move. He'll slide down just a little bit, try to cut off the exit of this corner, but Gray's just going to have too much momentum off the corner.
Whittaker throws it in deep into the 1st corner, and up into the wall goes Spencer Gray. That's going to scrub off a little bit of speed for him. Whittaker still trying to use that low line, see if there's any moisture grip in it still. And he pulls off a pass for now. And now here comes Spencer Gray coming back at him.
Gray was very courteous there. Gave Whittaker a little bit extra room. That's kind of my Achilles heel sometimes on the outside. Try to give him enough room and end up giving him too much room and ends up becoming an issue for the 93, putting himself in the wall there. Now Whittaker, a little bit of extra gas there off the corner. Now Gray has a little bit of a run going into 1 and 2.
Yes, sometimes I think hitting the wall in the middle of a turn can slow you down, but pancaking the wall on the straight like that, I don't think that's exactly what Whittaker wanted to be doing there, and it allowed Gray to get right back up to his rear bumper. 2 laps to go, and I think we might be about to see a side-by-side finish.
Yeah, wall riding here at Eldora works in the corners. It does not work, though, on corner exit. I will say that. Yeah, if you get into the wall on corner exit, yeah, you're going to be scrubbing speed. And one thing that Whittaker has been doing really good, you see how he's a little bit less sideways than the 93 in that corner as we come to the white flag there. He's scrubbing off less speed in the middle of the corner, and that's how he's able to stay in front of the 93 right now, trying to take this Consolation win.
Well, I'm sure Spencer Gray is going to throw it down low. There he goes. He knows he's got to try something different if he wants to get by Whittaker. But Whittaker's got enough power off. If he can keep it off the wall, and he does, he wins. Whittaker takes the victory. Gray second, Brody Green third, and Robbie Robinson will get fourth. I'm sorry, I used to have a friend called Billy Robinson. And now it is time for the feature.
Well, I tell you what there, Spencer Gray was very courteous on many occasions. If that was me, I probably would have threw a bomb into 3 and 4 there, but he held back on that and decided to settle for second there, try to just run a line instead. But now these drivers get back on the track. So here the track stage is moving back down to, I believe, 5%. I don't have my notes right in front of me, but I believe it's 5%. But the A-feature track will be at 20%. And what we're not going to see tonight specifically, as opposed to last time that we saw here at Eldora, is the track state change. So first of all, it's daytime, so the track kind of dries out a little bit more. So it's not quite as grippy, but it doesn't slick over. But more importantly, since there's less cars on this track right now, it's not going to wear off as quickly like it did. And when a track wears off, it kind of makes things more interesting. So this might just be a 1-lane track. So you want to find that 1 lane and you want to get fast at that lane. Kind of how I put the math is we got 14 cars that's going to be in the same main. So that's 6 less cars. Won a 40-lap race. That's 240 less laps on this track over the course of those 40 laps. So the track stay is going to be extremely different tonight than what we saw last season.
I'm glad they put me in the booth with the one other GSRC commentator who is good at math.
One other? I haven't met the other one yet. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
That's fantastic. Wow, yeah. Well,
we
yeah, the audience is welcome. This is the only duo that I think you're going to get that with here. I've heard that math is a sin here, so...
So let's give our viewers an idea of how the starting grid will look as this 5-minute warm-up session wears on. Tyler Jackson won the first heat race, so he gets pole. And then the driver who won the second heat race, Treyarch Shepherd, will be starting from second place. And Stephen Spies, he won the third heat race, will start third. The driver who finished second in heat race 1 starts fourth. That's Bobby Rafferty, and then so on, goes on like that throughout the field. So it will be Justin Morton starting 5th, Joe Segala starting 6th, Todd Liston starting 7th, Ron Snyder in 8th, Jared Melton and Willie Whittaker on row 5, Spencer Gray and Brody Green on row 6. And sorry, I think I've missed someone at some point here. Robbie Robinson will be rounding out a 13-car field, I believe. Yeah, a 13-car field because John Wilson's still not in the session.
And so what you guys are going to see here, if you guys have ever seen the NASCAR Truck Series race here at Eldora, which holds over 17,700 people, phenomenal amount of grandstands for a local dirt track, if you will. They actually host weekly street stock races here at Eldora, but I think that when it comes to iRacing, it's actually more similar to when the NASCAR trucks come and race here, how the trucks are like tanks. They just kind of slide and they're almost sluggish through the corners. They'll beat off the wall. They'll beat off each other. These machines here on iRacing, these street stocks, weigh half a ton. They weigh twice as heavy as a sprint car, and they're about they weigh 1.5 tons. So it's about the size of a tank. So they will use up these cars here tonight, especially once this outside lane starts to slick off a little bit and they start bouncing into the wall, where they move lower onto the track and start bouncing into each other. That's kind of the racing that you'll see, just like you see in the NASCAR trucks here. But like I said, I love Eldora. and it's just so dang fast. The all-time record at this track was set in a 410 sprint car back in 2002. Let me know when you can find something that can run half a mile in 12.7 seconds. This track is just mean fast no matter what you run here.
Speaking of mean fast, the driver who was fastest in warm-up just a moment ago was Robbie Robinson, and he is a driver who will start from the very back of the grid as a result of being the victim of that crash that we saw during the B main race. So that just tells you the level of competition we have in this series. The fact that even the driver starting from last place is currently fastest in warm-up. Brody Green just disconnected. He's got half a minute to make it back. I'm not really sure what that's about.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm excited to see John Wilson try to come from the back of this field. But a couple other drivers to look out for. The two-time defending champion starting on pole, Tyler Jackson, won this race 2 seasons ago, but also the defending winner of this race, the 77 Jim Beaver Esports driver, Bobby Rafferty. He'll be fun to watch starting off in the 4th position here. So that'll be really exciting. But also, we mentioned how this is season number 4 of the Bootleg Racing League Dirt Street Stock Series. Traditionally, they run their season opener and their season closer at the dirt track at Charlotte. They've done that all 3 seasons so far. But this season, starting off on the fastest track on iRacing for dirt racing, Eldora. So this will be a very fun, first time ever season opener for this Street Stock Series.
So here we go, the season opener of the Bootleg Racing League's Street Stock Series getting ready to go here at Eldora Speedway. This is being brought to you by the Cruise Shop and Jim Beaver Esports. We ran down the grid just a moment ago, but here you go, you see it on your screen. It is Tyler Jackson starting on pole position ahead of Justin Morton. Stephen Spies will be starting from 3rd place ahead of Bobby Rafferty. J.R. Shepherd rounding out the top 5 there, Devon.
I believe we got a little bit of a mix-up here. This is qualifying time here. Your starting grid will actually be Tyler Jackson, J.R. Shepherd on the front row, Stephen Spies, Bobby Rafferty, 2nd row, Justin Morton, Joe Segala, 3rd row, Todd Liston, Ron Snyder in row 4, Gerard Melton and Willie Whittaker, row 5. And then it'll be Spencer Gray, and I believe Robbie Robinson will be the end of your field as Brody Green and John Wilson not able to connect.
Yeah, so apologies for the technical issue there, but now we've got the full race run down there on the left-hand side of your screen, and you'll be able to keep eye on your favourite driver throughout this 40-lap race. And you mentioned we had a 4-wide finish here last season, Devon, and after what I've seen going on in the heat races and the Consi, I think we might be able to pull off something like that again tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Tyler Jackson selects the outside row, and you can see how the track has changed. You see where it's darker, that's slick rubber. There's not a lot of grip there. We'll see how these drivers, for the first time tonight seeing that, will react.
And here we go. Pace truck is off, green flag is out, and Tyler Jackson brings the field to green, already 3 wide as they head off into the first corner. So 55 goes directly to the bottom, and they're 3 wide coming off the turn as well. Tyler Jackson up high, though, has the momentum.
Bees with a fantastic run there, moving into the 2nd position, and already Bobby Rafferty and Justin Morton getting into the wall. We've seen this from Speeds before. He likes to run in that slick stuff. You're not supposed to do that there, Speeds, but nonetheless running some of that slicker stuff on the inside. But still, even though the outside has a lot of rubber in there, the 8 car and the 77 car of Tyler Jackson and Bobby Rafferty is still trying to use that, as now Jackson actually moves to the middle where he's got a little bit more grip.
Yeah, Tyler Jackson has pulled out a few car lengths ahead of the rest of the field. I think Speeds is starting to realise that low line isn't working for him anymore now that they've made the track a little bit more race-worn for this feature event. He realised he had faded back to 4th, and I think he's starting to run a little bit higher to see what he can do up there.
And for you guys who don't know dirt quite as well, you can see where it's a little bit blacker, a little bit slicker. If you went over there and you put your hand on that, it'd get ran over by a dirt street stock. But before that happens, it actually feels kind of like concrete, like slick, really warm concrete. And so it's essentially taking this dirt street stock and putting it onto an asphalt track, if you will, and where you see some of those darker spots on the track. So you try to get where it's brown, that's where some of the moisture is. That's where some of the dirt is to run and get some more momentum there. So it's tough to run that slick stuff, and when it's that high on the track, it's so easy to get into the wall.
Tyler Jackson is really pulling out over the rest of the field. We've had great battles going on throughout this feature event, but they've been for second on back. Jackson really in control right now, and I've noticed, I think that's Willie Whitaker, who is just absolutely throwing his car in down low and has been sliding up a track. Hasn't hit anyone yet, but it's fun to watch.
Right now, Willie Whitaker trying to run in 7th, but he has Robbie Robinson stalking him right now behind. Right up on that wall, and you see him bang that right side up against the wall, but in the middle of the corner, you can actually gain speed that way. So, yeah, hitting the wall in the corners is not actually a horrendous thing like it would be in an asphalt car or on a road course car.
Or in a regular car.
Same thing.
Yeah, Robbie Robinson, though, remember, he's the driver who got a bit of tough luck against him during the Consi race. Fortunately, he still made the feature due to a little bit of a lower car count here tonight. And he's trying to work his way up through the field. And right now, he's finally picked off that position from Whitaker and is up into 7th place.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a ways to go here trying to run that outside. But you see the gap to Justin Moore in front of them is quite large now, as his front group continues to try to run away, but the guy run away from everyone. Tyler Jackson almost a second lead here over Bobby Rafferty. When he won here 2 seasons ago, he led wire to wire, and right now he's putting himself in position to do it again, coming almost 10 laps done here at Eldora.
I think Robbie Robinson got into the wall pretty hard over in turns 1 and 2. I don't know if that's going to upset his car any. I mean, at the end of the day, I think I can only take so much wall hitting, but I could be wrong on that.
No, you're wrong, man. These things are built like tanks. No aerodynamics, heck, the sheet metal is just there for sponsorship, for crying out loud. These things will beat and bang like tanks, and they'll keep on rolling as long as that steering doesn't go out of alignment.
Yeah, that's a little bit more what I was concerned about, but we'll wait and see. He's still holding his own in 7th place. So Tyler Jackson currently leads the field. Bobby Rafferty in 2nd place. Treyar Shepherd 3rd. Stephen Byes is in 4th place ahead of Jared Melton. And Melton trying to use a different line to make up some positions, but doesn't happen there. Justin Morton in 6th. And then in 7th place is the aforementioned Robbie Robinson. The first battle we have right now that I see is for 8th place, and that's Willie Whitaker on the high side and Todd DeListon down low.
And right now I'm interested in watching Gerard Melton in that pink car, and then behind him you see Willie Whitaker and Robbie Robinson running the same line as him, where they're trying to get under that black stuff where it's really slick. They're trying to get some of that moisture and try to gain on that front pack, but it's just so difficult at a track like Eldora. Even though the outside is slicked off, when you're bouncing against the wall, you don't lose so much speed like you would at, say, maybe a Williams Grove type of track. You still have a lot of speed on the outside.
Yeah, things are about to get interesting for 3rd place. J.R. Shepherd got out of the cushion a little while ago, hit the wall and slowed him up a little bit, and that has resulted in 4th to 7th, getting all bunched up behind him.
Looking out the hood here of Justin Moore and looking at that battle in front of him. J.R. Shepherd trying to hold off Steven Speeds, but right now he's trying to hold off Gerard Melton. As you see that pink little flash on that left side of your screen, Melton is onto something there with that more moisture on the middle of the track, but I just don't know if there's enough cars to make the difference on the outside. It has just too much grip right now to be beat by that line under it when it comes to speed.
Shepherd once again getting a little bit of a wall, but we've well established by now that shouldn't be upsetting him any. Oh, there we go, really sideways goes Spies. He had to pinch the car down low to kind of avoid running into the back of Shepherd, and it costs him a little bit of momentum, but he holds on to 4th.
Great run right now for J.R. Shepherd, guys. First career, we mentioned he has 43 wins in this league, who has a plethora of series throughout the past many years. 43 championships, but last season at Kokomo was his first ever dirt street stock win in his BRL career. So that was a cool win for him there to knock off another victory in another series here in BRL, but now fighting for 3rd here in the season opener of season 4.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of work to do though. Well, they all have a little bit of work to do if they want to add another win to their win tally, because currently Tyler Jackson's race lead is about 1 second over Bobby Rafferty, and 1 second compared to everything else we've seen going on tonight seems like a country mile.
Yeah, right now Tyler Jackson just running away from the field. He's even incorporated and inherited that line that we see Gerard Melton running. I think he might even be a little bit lower in 3 and 4, but that's something that he's really good at doing. You'll see Tyler Jackson way up ahead of these guys. Use the outside 1 and 2, but he knows how to utilize a different line in a different part of the track. And now Steven Spies trying to see if he can find that same little bit of push there, but Bobby Rafferty trying to keep that distance the same here. It's just about a 1 second lead.
Yeah, so we were riding on board there with really one of the only leaders that's electing not to run up high right now, and that is Steven Spies, trying to make that middle line work and trying to make a move on Shepherd for 3rd place. And I must admit though, since I mentioned that Tyler Jackson's lead was 1 second, Bobby Rafferty has clicked off a couple of laps quicker than him and cut it down to 7/10. So I wouldn't be worrying if I was Tyler Jackson yet, but it's something he needs to keep an eye on.
So it looks like what Bobby Rafferty has done here, he'll enter high, he'll kind of put that right rear quarter panel right up against the wall, almost scrape it, almost bounce off, but then he cuts off a little bit of corner exit. Not so much there in turn number 2, but in turn number 3, he'll cut off corner exit a lot, and that's going to give him a little bit of extra room there. But there you go. There, the 8 car is doing the exact same thing now, trying to check that virtual rear view mirror and seeing what the guys behind you are doing as Rafferty gets up and into the wall. He's still got some speed here, but he's the only guy in the field right now who can run down that blood red number 8.
J.R. Shepherd lost a bit of momentum coming off of turn 4 last lap, and I thought Steven Spies might have been able to challenge him a little bit more for 3rd place. And here he goes once again, trying to work a low line underneath Shepherd. I think Shepherd is holding up the cars behind him a little bit, because he does have a bit of a train behind him for 4th, 5th and 6th place, but right now doing a good job at holding those guys off.
But it doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, you can't pass someone in front of you if you're doing the same thing as them. That's what Speeds is trying to change, trying to find somewhere else on that track. But there's so much race left here. We still have 14 laps to go for this track to evolve and for these drivers to try to find a different way to get around cars here, as Speeds is still kind of in that tackier stuff, but the speed on the outside here at Eldora is just absolute king right now, just not able to find a way around that gray and blue number 98.
Rafferty really got out of the racetrack there in turns 1 and 2 and was banging against the wall all throughout the turn, but it hasn't seemed to cost him any. Speeds going down to the bottom of the track there. Once again, though, stays up alongside Shepherd. Let's see if he can make something work this time, because he's up alongside him, and that's been the hard part for Speeds. He hasn't been able to get up alongside Shepherd yet. He's still been behind him the whole time. Well, now he's there. Can he do anything with it?
Oh, got that rear end just 2 sideways there on corner exit. Now, I was going to say this is where it's getting dangerous, because Morton got on the outside of him there in 3 and 4 and in 1 and 2 as well. And that's where you're like, okay, so I'm not in the preferred lane anymore. Now these guys are going to try to truck me on the outside. But, yeah, was able to keep them away, bouncing off the wall here again at Eldora. Not a big deal at other tracks like Williams Grove, especially at Lernersville. If you're that high, you're in a lot of trouble. But here at Eldora, there's just so much speed and so much banking, 24 degrees of banking. It just keeps your speed intact so much.
And let's give a shout out to the entire field of 12 cars that started this race. Brody Green was not able to make it on time, and nor was John Wilson. But all of them look like they're going to finish on the lead lap, and it looks like if we do get a battle for the lead, which, oh, there we go, round from 5th place goes Melton. Caution comes out. Well, that's going to change everything.
Almost went green for the entire race. We haven't done that in a long time. That's kind of rare there. We would have been in rare air, but you see, I think what happened there was when he was side by side with Morton, it's just too slick right there. I think it's a little too high. There's no grip right there, and slid up, got into Justin Morton. I mean, that might have looked a little malicious in nature, but I really don't think it was there. I think there just wasn't enough grip there, and that was an accident there, just a racing deal where there just wasn't enough grip there, and Gerard Melton just slides up too much, and nope, well, there's a car there.
Well, these caution laps are counting, so they are on lap 34 now with 7 laps left to go. The pace truck lights are still on, and I've got to imagine that Tyler Jackson isn't too thrilled about this, because even though Bobby Rafferty was running him down, it looked like even if he could have caught him in time, Tyler Jackson had control of a race. Well, now he will definitely be challenged on the restart here when they all go double file. We'll see if he's able to hold on to it. And Bobby Rafferty intimidating him a bit under caution here, or maybe Tyler Jackson just let him know, hey, I'm restarting up high because the pace truck lights are now off.
Yeah, Jackson decides to take the outside lane, and these two have raced plenty of times before. We'll have to see here. I'm watching that 98 car right now. You are in the catbird seat if you are second row inside. You can throw an absolute bomb here. Who's going to slide to the inside, try to make a move? Hasn't been a lot of passing. This is your one opportunity to try to make a big move on the field.
Bobby Rafferty running into the side of Tyler Jackson down the back straight. He wants to be up as high as he can for this restart. 5 laps left to go here at Eldora Speedway. Who's going to win round 1?
Diving inside the 77. Big slide job over Tyler Jackson. Oh, over-rotates too much, but here comes Shepard on the inside.
Oh, Tyler Jackson bounces off of both the cars in the middle there, but he's able to hold his own. But J.R. Shepard has the lead as they come to 4 to go. Not quite clear.
For the first time tonight, someone not named Tyler Jackson leads a lap, but now throws a haymaker into turn 1. Rafferty crosses him back over. Look out, Willie Whittaker's in this battle as well, sin and fifth.
Bobby Rafferty takes the lead. He's down low, and Tyler Jackson might be getting shuffled back a little bit here, because here comes J.R. Shepard down low. Jackson in the middle. 3 to go.
Jackson got a great shot from Speeds, but now Rafferty into the wall trying to go back under the 8 car. Once again, Bobby Rafferty, your leader here, going into turn number 3. Contact made into 3. They're up towards the wall. More contact in the wall, and here comes J.R. Shepard and Steven Speeds.
Yeah, Rafferty and Jackson kind of got locked together there, and it hurt both of them, but they lose a couple of positions. We're within 2 laps left to go now. Shepard down low, as you mentioned. Speeds up high. He is the lead as they go off into turn 3, but I do not think this race is over by any means. White flag in the end. It will be over in 20 seconds, but who will be the winner?
Bees on the outside, Shepard on the inside, Whittaker way inside, makes contact with a 98. Speeds will get a great run off the corner here, but into the wall. Watch out, because here comes Tyler Jackson.
Tyler Jackson throws it in, goes down low, but Speeds has done enough, I think. If he gets a good run on the exit here, they're all bumping and banging and wrecking for second, but Speeds wins here at Eldora.
What a finish. Everyone gunning for a position to end that race. And somehow, some way, Willie Whittaker takes second place. Tyler Jackson will still get a podium spot, though. But Steven Speeds out-hustles the field and takes the win. Boy, that restart meant absolutely everything.
I think Speeds will leave this track not only as the race winner, but the only driver that didn't crash there on the front straight as they came to the checkered flag, and now he gets to spin his car around and do some showing off for the virtual fans in the stands and all you very real fans back home who have came out here to watch tonight's race. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but we will be back here in a moment in GSRC with a full race rundown and driver interviews. And isn't that nice? Our virtual victory lane, and Steven Speeds is going to park his car there, and rightfully so. Congratulations, Steven, winner here tonight at Eldora. Hello and welcome back to Eldora Speedway, where we just witnessed the opening round of the 2020 Season 4 of Bootleg Racing League's Dirt Street Stock Series. And your race winner, when it was all said and done, was Stephen Spees, while everyone else was involved in a little bit of a calamity behind him. But it was Willie Whittaker who came across the line in second place ahead of Tyler Jackson. J.R. Shepherd finished in fourth position ahead of Bobby Rafferty, rounding up the top five. Justin Morton in sixth place ahead of Robbie Robinson. Jared Melton finishes in eighth ahead of Ron Snyder and Todd Liston. Rounding out the field with all 12 drivers that started finishing on the lead lap were Joe Segala and Spencer Gray. Brody Green and John Wilson unfortunately did not start the race. Well, we've got a few drivers here that we'd like to talk to, so first we'll start with our race winner, Stephen Spees. And here we go. Stephen, first off, congratulations on your victory here tonight.
Thanks a lot. Finally getting one here in this Street Stock Series. Pretty excited.
We noticed at the start of a race, you were really one of the only drivers who was committed to that low line. It wasn't working to you at the start there. But boy, at the end, it looked like anything you could do differently to gain you an advantage, that's what it took.
Yeah, at the start of the race, I started on the inside, so I was just kind of a victim of circumstance. And yeah, it just wasn't working. So put my blinker on and got up high there. And you know, after that last restart, it was kind of like plate racing out on a, you know, Daytona or Talladega or something. And it was just kind of following and ended up in the right spot. So lucky me.
How confident were you, though? I mean, when you saw the caution fly at the end there and everyone knew, well, this is about to come down to a 5-lap shootout, Tyler Jackson might not necessarily win this race after all. Were you feeling good?
No, you know, Tyler's beat us for a whole season here, so you got to expect he's going to win. He still had control of it. So what I was going to do was kind of just stay behind whoever was next and try to push him around Tyler. So one of us other guys had a chance to win for once.
Well, one of those other guys ended up being you. Congratulations. Do you think you can carry that momentum into Lima Land next week?
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on whether I'm going to be able to make it next week. Hopefully, you know, got a good shot at the points starting out. So, you know, if I'm here, we'll see where it goes.
All right. Well, thanks for coming to talk to us, Stephen, and congrats once again on your win.
Thank you very much.
And Devon, you have caught up with our second place finisher, I believe.
Talk about an exciting finish of that race. Willie Whittaker, we haven't seen you since season 2 of this series. How was your reintroduction to BRL Dirt Street Stocks here at Eldora?
Man, it was fun. I had a blast. I had some internet issues to start with, but got in there, didn't get to make any laps, but it was fun.
Boy, it sure looked fun. Coming from P10 to finish off in second. Take me through your trek through the field there. Obviously, things got a little stagnant before that first and only restart.
Yeah, with a fixed league, it's hard to make any ground. I mean, you're going to have some cautions, and that track got real slicked over, so once everybody started spreading it out towards the front, they was a little racy, but we wasn't really racy back there. But it was fun once that last restart in the bottom where everybody should have been to begin with, I think.
And so from your perspective, I got to know, take me through that final lap on the track and ending up finishing second. Whatever, you're turned towards the wall, but who cares? A P2's P2. Take me through that last lap.
Well, I was trying to just diamond the corner. I mean, I didn't mean to push up towards the wall that much, but I mean, you have to try to keep your momentum, because if you're going to keep it tight coming off the corner, you're scrubbing speed. So, but I mean, I have to go back and watch the replay. I didn't really watch the replay. I don't think I turned right on them guys.
Well, it was tight. You guys were 3 wide there, but it was extremely fun to watch. I'm going to enjoy watching it back too. But who do you got to thank for your performance here tonight, finishing second in this year's season opener?
I got to thank Evil Outlaws. Good bunch of guys over there. Michael Redding and David Lamont, they've actually helped me with the driving style stuff, get me used to dirt. And then, of course, John Haynes gave me some pointers on some sprint cars and stuff. But, yeah, just Evil Outlaws.
Willie Whittaker takes home P2 in the season opener. Thanks for joining us, and, of course, a big congrats. And now we'll give it on back on over to Sam, who had, well, the class of the field tonight, but ends up coming home in third, Tyler Jackson.
Yeah, first off, Tyler, I've got to ask you how you're feeling right now, because I'm sure for the longest time you thought you had that one in the bag.
Yeah, that wasn't a good caution for me.
All right. By coincidence, we happen to be playing on GSRC in slow motion right now. I think we're about to come up to the moment where you and the 77 got together and that kind of pushed you back into fourth or fifth place. You want to talk us through that?
Yeah, it sounded like Bobby was kind of upset with the last few laps. I don't know. I've been watching the replay, and I don't think I did anything wrong. Looked like, to me, it looked like he kind of squeezed me going in 3, and then he didn't really give me a lane coming out of 4. So I don't know. I don't know what he's upset about.
Yeah, I think at moment for our viewers is just about to come up in about 20 seconds here on our slow motion replay, so they can think about it themselves. Given the fact that the last 5 laps didn't go your way, though, how are you feeling with a third place finish? You know, is that something that you think you'll be satisfied with once you know you get over the intensity of what was that final 5 laps?
Oh, yeah, it's no big deal. I mean, obviously we come to win, but honestly, that was probably more fun finishing third doing that than it would have been going green in the last, I don't know, whatever it was, 7 laps. So I had a blast there at the end. Might be a couple of hurt feelings, but looked like hard racing to me from everybody's perspective. So I enjoyed it.
Well, it was very enjoyable from up here in the booth as well. We go to Lima Land next week. What are your thoughts heading into that race?
That's a good track for me. Quarter mile stuff seems to fit my driving style a little better. Usually get 2 grooves there, sometimes right around the bottom on the tires, sometimes in the middle, and sometimes right up on the cushion. So it usually produces pretty good racing.
All right. Well, we had some pretty good racing tonight, I would say. So we look forward to seeing more of it next week. And thanks for coming to talk to us, Tyler. Anything else you'd like to say before we let you go?
Yeah, just got to congratulate Steven on his win. He's been running with us for a long time, and he's always right there, and he capitalized on a perfect opportunity. So congrats to him. Thank the girlfriend as always. Jack's EDM on the hood of the car, NC Resources, Milner Media for giving me this cool blood red shark. Jose Gill was tuning in, a couple of buddies from work. Sorry to disappoint him, but hopefully it was entertaining for you guys.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, Tyler. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Devon, that was definitely an exciting finish. As I mentioned, we're doing 2 things at once here. I don't know about you, but I'm trying to talk to the drivers, but at the same time, I'm watching the slow motion replay on our broadcast back, just enjoying the last 5 laps again.
Man, Eldora is just so much fun to watch, and we saw more excitement here. Yeah, it wasn't a 4-wide finish, but I'll tell you what, man, that was such a fun ending there. Even Tyler Jackson admitting there that was quite a ride there to close that race. I don't think I've ever gotten to talk to Tyler. I've been here over a season now. I've never gotten a chance to talk to him. He's always first or third, I think, but a huge congrats, Steven Spieth taking home the win, his first career BRL Dirt Street Stock Series victory. Even though last season he came home second in the points just through consistency, but finally has that trophy there. And guys, we got plenty more coming up. I'm actually saying on the mic here, we're going to have a fun drinking race. It's called the Fireball 500 next year in the 1987 cars on the Glen. So we got plenty more racing here on GSRC coming up here. So a lot more fun here. If you thought that this was exciting, you want to keep on watching some racing, well, we got more coming up for you next.
And we hope you all stick around to watch that action. But for this broadcast, we're going to wrap things up. We would like to thank Laurel Jewel, as well as all of the competitors and the organisers in the Bootleg Racing League for coming out here tonight and putting on a thrilling show. Thanks also to the series sponsors that help make this all possible. Those are the Cruise Shop and also Jim Beaver Esports, a new sponsor for this season, and we appreciate them coming on. Thanks also to all of the companies that provide us with the software and hardware that we use to make these broadcasts possible, and there you can see them all listed on your screen. Additional thanks goes out to June Lalonde, who provides us with our great music. See the screen for how to get hold of more of her great work. Thanks to the team today, Devon, Sean and Dougie. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including upcoming broadcasts, you can find it at globalsimracingchannel.com. You can also check us out on our social media pages. We're on Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook at facebook.com/globalsimracingchannel, and Instagram at GSRC_gram. If you'd like to support the channel, you can check out our merchandise store at gsrc.storemv.com. The link is in the description below. Don't forget to head on over to our YouTube page and hit that big red subscribe button so that you don't miss another second of exciting racing action here on GSRC. Our next race will be at the same time, same day next week, which is 8 PM Eastern Time on Friday at the Limaland Motorsports Park. We also have the upcoming races for our other series listed on your screen, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. But until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.